Hello, geometry students. It's Mr. Zabo. We are on to sections 2.5 and 2.6 in our notes. These are going to discuss the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division properties of both segments and angles. We are going to talk about what the properties state, some theorems, and then how they are used either algebraically or in proofs. So, without further ado, the addition property says that if a segment or angle is added to two congruent segments or angles, their sums are congruent. What does that look like? So if I know I've been given that segment PQ is congruent to segment RS, okay, and then I take a segment and add it to my congruent segments. Okay, what segment is that? Well, in this case, if I add QR to both PQ and to RS, I can make a final conclusion that segment PR, which is going to be PQ plus the QR, is going to be congruent, the sums are congruent, to segment QS. That's going to be segment QR plus segment RS. I already know these are congruent. I'm just adding the same thing to congruent segments. My sums are congruent. And then the same thing can be said about angles. If I know I have been given that angle ABC is congruent to angle DBE, and I add one angle, angle CBD, I can make a final conclusion that my angle ABD, which is coming from angle ABC plus angle CBD, is going to get me angle ABD, is going to be congruent to what I get when I add angle CBD, that same angle, to my congruent angle DBE. So angle ABD is going to be congruent to angle CBE. That's the addition property. There is another way of looking at the addition property, and that is if congruent segments or angles are added to congruent segments or angles, the results are congruent. A lot of congruency there. The only difference between these two addition properties is in the first one, I'm just adding one segment, but I'm adding that same segment to both. In the second addition property, I'm adding different segments, but the segments I'm adding are also congruent. So in segments, it might look like this. If segment PQ is congruent to segment ST, these are congruent segments, and I add segment QR and segment UT, which are also congruent, then the entire segment PR, is going to be congruent to segment US. Angles will work in a very similar way. So if small angle plus small angle, these two small angles are congruent, these two small angles are congruent, small plus small, I'm making it bigger, I add, then this entire angle measure is going to be congruent to this entire angle measure. Okay? Because subtraction is equivalent to addition of an opposite, you also have the four corresponding subtraction properties. If a segment or angle is subtracted from congruent segments, then the differences are congruent. So if I have congruent segments and I take the same piece out of both, then what's left is congruent. If I have congruent segments and I take congruent segments or congruent pieces out, then what's left is also congruent. So those were our addition and subtraction properties. Now, the multiplication and division properties are going to be similar, but there's going to be some small differences. And these state that if segments or angles are congruent, then their like multiples or divisions are also congruent. Okay, what does that mean? Let's look at an example of the multiplication first. In this case, we'll look at these segments. If segment AB is congruent to segment EF, so I have this segment is congruent to this segment, and B, C, F, and G are trisection points. So it is being cut in 3 equal segments. Then I can make a conclusion that segment AD is congruent to segment EF. GeoH because those are trisection points. Small segments were congruent. That was our hypothesis, our given. Becomes big congruent segments. That's my multiplication property. Okay. The example for division is going to be kind of exactly the opposite. If my hypothesis or my given is that my big segment, segment AD, is congruent to segment EH, and that these segments are trisection points, and I'm going to small, I can then conclude that maybe segment AB is congruent to segment EF. Okay. In this case, I went from a big congruent segment as a hypothesis to a small congruent segment based on bisector or trisector, based on multiples or like divisions. That is my division property. Okay. So in this case, I started out with these big segments being congruent. I can go smaller to the smaller segments. Okay. So our hint for using addition or subtraction versus multiplication or division. You're typically going to use multiplication or division when you see words like trisect. You know that it's being divided into equal parts. Bisect, it's being divided into equal parts, or even midpoint. Those are some key words that you'll have in given information where you might wind up using one of our division or multiplication properties. So a couple of very quick examples. If I have been given that angle ABC is congruent to angle DEF, I know the big angles are congruent. These are big, and I am being bisected, and I can then conclude that my small angles are congruent. For example, I can conclude that angle ABG is congruent to angle DEH, and that is by the division property. So bisecting means it cuts that angle in half. Sure, angle ABG is congruent to angle GBC, but because I have two congruent angles being cut in half, each of those parts is going to be congruent. I don't have to take multiple steps to do that if I don't want to. And then same idea, if I have that segment NO been given is congruent to segment ST, and that O is a midpoint and S is a midpoint, I can now conclude these are my small segments. I can now conclude that my big segments, segment NP, is going to be congruent to my other big segment, segment RT, by the multiplication property. So small to big is multiplication, big to small is division. The last couple things I want to talk about in the video are a couple of other proofs. So let's do a couple of these proofs together. Okay. I have been given that segment AB, this segment here, is congruent to segment FE. I have been given that segment BC is congruent to segment ED. I want to prove that segment AC is congruent to segment FD. Well, I have plenty of work or plenty of given information to let me know that. Okay? And I have these two that are going to add up and go right to here. So I have to make sure I state everything, and I don't have any additional statements to make. I can state that my segments are congruent, and those were given. And I can go straight. I have enough information there to go straight to my conclusion or my proof statement that these are now congruent, and we got to decide which property that is now. Okay? And what I do is I look and see what I had. Well, I had segment AB and FE, then segments BC and DE. These are small segments, and I went to this, which is a big segment. I went small to big, but did I use a word like bisect, trisect, or midpoint? And the answer is no. So it's not multiplication. It's one of my other properties. This is going to be the addition property. Now, which one? And it does matter. I want to state something along the lines of, now I can probably just get away with addition property because I have these, but I do want to make sure we address which addition property we just used. And this was an example of congruent segments being added to congruent segments. That is my addition property. One more example for the video. We are starting with segments again. Segment GJ. I like to mark this when they overlap like this. I'll mark it this way. That's the segment, and I'm going to use a circle to mark it congruent. Is congruent to segment HK. I'm going to go down here and mark that congruent. And I want to prove that this segment is congruent to this segment. I'm just highlighting it. That doesn't mark it congruent because I don't know it is congruent. I've just been asked to show it. But again, I have plenty to show this. I can go straight there. This is going to be a two-step proof. And again, I went big to small without the words bisect, trisect, or midpoint. So this is subtraction, not division. And that's, I subtracted a segment, not congruent segment. But I subtracted a segment from congruent segments. And then the difference. All right, more practice with this as we get into class, a little bit more practice with proof, and then a few algebraic examples of some of this as well. Feel free to stop by office hours, email me, let me know if you have questions. See y'all soon.